Zimbabwe is a small but beautiful landlocked country in the south of Africa. The country is blessed with some of the most scenic places, flora and fauna, pleasant weather conditions, and we love it. But climate change poses a fundamental threat to everything we love. Melting glaciers, rising sea levels, and new and more frequent weather extremes leave no continent untouched. Impacts are already being felt by many communities and ecosystems worldwide, even right here in Zimbabwe. As a signatory to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, and an active member of the Conference of Parties to the UNFCCC, Zimbabwe developed a climate response strategy. The impacts of climate change in Zimbabwe are likely to stall the country's development, pose a serious risk to food security and adaptive capacity. This strategy is among the processes that are aimed at establishing specific provisions for dealing with climate change issues, understanding the extent of the threat, and putting in place specific actions to manage potential impacts. One of the key objectives of the National Climate Change Response Strategy is to strengthen and mainstream climate change in all education curricula. Learning institutions are becoming hubs that promote the use of renewable energy, and tree planting is becoming a growing trend among students and teaching staff.
We believe in participating in the green movement as a school in order to encourage our youngsters to ameliorate global warming. We believe that the planting of trees is one sure way the youngsters can understand their role in making sure that we manage climate change.
Since 2007, the Worldwide Fund for Nature's Earth Hour has inspired action among businesses, organizations, governments, and hundreds of millions of individuals all over the world to help create a better future. Earth Hour is a worldwide movement for the planet organized by WWF. The event is held worldwide annually, encouraging individuals, communities, households, and businesses to turn off non-essential lights for 1 hour from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. towards the end of March as a symbol of their commitment to the planet. Earth Hour champions are young people chosen by WWF Zimbabwe who are successfully engaging in initiatives which protect the planet in various ways, such as climate-smart agriculture programs, artists encouraging environmental conservation, tree planting projects, private sector, and government actions in conservation work. These champions are working with 4 target schools, namely Churchill Boys High, Urungwe Secondary, Murewa High, and Roosevelt Girls High. The 4 schools were selected from a database of eco-schools based on their continued efforts towards a greener environment.
Since I've been in this school, the girls have been using cold water. And even with the parents, it was a big issue where they really wanted their girls to have warm water. So when this idea was mooted to me, that people would actually come and install solar heating system, I really grabbed the idea, and now we have it, and students are very, very happy getting water, hot water for their bathrooms.
We have a digester at our hostel area, and we've visited the digester with our students, with the kitchen staff explaining clearly how they use it, feeding it using organic matter, and then they use it for cooking for the boarders. And the waste material, they use it for refertilizing the soils around the digester, especially to keep the green grass or maybe the lawn growing. And the ladies, they've appreciated the importance of renewable sources of energy.
Before the introduction of the biogas, we used to use coal and electricity. And the cooks in the kitchen, they used to wake up as early as 3 so that they meet the 6:30 breakfast time for the girls in the hostel. But after that, when you get the biogas digester installed at the school, they are now starting work at 5:30. Our digester uses all the leftover stuff from the kitchen, and it has been connected from the sewer, from the school side. So we feed every day. Why do we feed every day? It's because it needs feed all the time.
Some of the activities that we do at Zimbabwe as the environmental club, we have got the quadritum system whereby each of the members of the environmental club will sit in each of the quads to make sure that the quads are very clean and to prevent people from littering. So, as the president of the environmental club, I'll be working with my committee so as to ensure that the environment is clean, so as to prevent littering around the school.
Earth Hour means to me that we have to conserve our energy, we have to conserve everything that is around us. We have to keep our biodiversity high because the future generation starts with us.
To me, Earth Hour means that we have to take an hour to think of people who are going to be there after us, the future generation, what they will use. Today we had a tree planting day at Muroa High School, just to think of the future students of Muroa High School, the fruits they are going to get from the trees we have planted today. So an Earth Hour is just an hour where you get to think of the future.
The environmental club at Uruguay was formed in 2015. That was the first year. And initially we started with a membership of 20 students, and then the membership started to grow, and now 2017 there are about 50 students in the club. The main objective of the club is about conservation of natural resources and the environment at large, and it also conscientizes the young youth on how to use natural resources, and there are several projects that have been done so far. 2017 we have done tree planting on a hedge called the Golden Juranda. We are about to plant, we want to plant about 3,000 plants of the Golden Juranda, which will be used around the school for landscaping. And so far we have managed to plant about 500 plants using the rooting hormone. And that's one of the major projects that these kids are doing at the school in the club.
My name is Dominic Makaza. I'm from Urunga Secondary School. I'm in Form 2, and I would like to share with you what the Earth Hour means to me. The Earth Hour is a very important thing to do. We are doing it for the future generations. Just imagine a world without trees, where there would be no life. That is why God has to put trees before animals and men on the earth. So what I want to say is that the Earth Hour means that it means life to our future generations. Thank you.
The future is indeed bright. Young people are adopting green minds and taking action against climate change. It is evident that the different activities being led by the Earth Hour champions in different schools are already bearing early fruits. And to celebrate these milestones, WWF Zimbabwe joined the rest of the world in commemorating Earth Hour at an event held at Roosevelt Girls High School on the 24th of March 2017.
But in Zimbabwe, of course, the context doesn't allow us to do that. So we have found innovative ways to commemorate Earth Hour, which is what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to be doing plays, we've been planting trees, we're going to light up using renewable energy instead of switching off.
We are so pleased that we have been chosen to host this important event which I believe is going to be viewed globally. The effects of climate change have been worsening each decade. Especially this time, Zimbabwe has been experiencing unprecedented episodes of drought and flooding, and this has hit hard on all climate-sensitive sectors, such as agriculture, water, tourism, energy, and others. Many communities are looking for ways to adapt to the negative impacts of climate change, and we are grateful that our government is leading in ensuring that our environment, economy, and society are climate resilient.
In Zimbabwe, we have several programs which we are running jointly with the ministry and also other partners. Of interest would be, because we're talking about climate change, obviously the issue about wetlands in Zimbabwe is key. We are working with government in various ways. How do we sustainably manage our wetlands, particularly in urban areas? One of the key things in Zimbabwe also relates to wildlife. We support government when they prepare for international conventions. As you know, we're one of the largest elephant populations in Southern Africa. Obviously, we provide that kind of background support. We are also working with them in Wange National Park. There are several institutes they are looking at there. We also work in areas around forestry. We are working in several districts now, where we're trying to see how we can support various communities and government institutions to mobilize and work with communities so that we can reduce the footprint on those resources. We also engage in policy processes. So we have a lot of things which we engage in. But of late, what we've started engaging in, which is dear to me, is the issue of working with young people.
So we had a competition as we were running the FR campaign. I'm sure a lot of us here participated. We had 4 categories. We asked people to send in drawings. We asked people to write essays, to share videos, picture stories about them engaging in sustainable food practices, or just telling us how they think some of these things can be done better for the sake of our planet. So we've got these 4 categories that we sent out to schools, that we sent out on Facebook, and we had an overwhelming response. I just want to say thank you. You know, you made us really proud to show that we've got a lot of climate smart youth. So today, unfortunately, we can't give everyone a prize, but for each of the 4 categories, we are recognizing the top 3. So I'll ask our youth champions to just come up with the prizes, which we're going to hand over. In 3rd place, we've got Ethel Mugola from Mulewa High. But in 1st place, there is a gentleman from Churchill by the name of Linso Chemere.
My name is Tinashe Mzondo, currently learning at Muriwa High School. I got the 2nd prize for the Essays Schools WWF competitions. I did an essay on food shortages and malnutrition. I explained a lot about the food shortages in Zimbabwe and the sustainable measures which we can take as a country to solve food shortages and malnutrition. I would like to express my gratitude to all the people who helped me, my teachers and my fellow colleagues. And I feel very honored to be having the 2nd prize right here at Roosevelt High School.
I'm really happy to win this prize because at first I really looked down upon myself because I thought I'm just a 4-month student and it was hard for me to join the competitions. At first we were not allowed to join the competition, but I tried my best to join the competition. I'm very happy to win the 1st prize. I wrote about food production. I wrote that food needs to be processed, distributed and disposed of in a good way.
During the 2017 8-hour campaign, WWF Zimbabwe has been sowing seeds towards a climate smart generation by raising awareness in schools and among youths across the country. Their efforts throughout the 8-hour campaign have complemented our efforts as a ministry in continual attempts to curtail the alarming rate of environmental degradation and climate change by empowering the school children and youths, a concept to help to catch them young. This strategy, ladies and gentlemen, is very effective environmental management as it engages and nurtures the future custodians of the environment to grow up aware of their surrounding environment and equipped to provide solutions to its sustainable management.
This is how Earth Hour was commemorated in Zimbabwe, and the net for more environmentally smart young people has been cast wider. All this for the benefit of our planet for generations to come.
Shine a light on climate change.
In our